A quick favor before we start, if you love the Blueprint podcast, please rate and review us wherever you listen. It makes a huge difference. Thanks and enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Blueprint podcast, where we throw out the old blueprint so you can become who you were always meant to be. I'm your host, Jason Smith, and if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and share this podcast with your friends on social media and tag me in it at JBirdFit. This is the first episode of The Foundation, a series inside the Blueprint podcast where I answer your questions, comments, and messages directly. My goal is to provide you with clear, practical, and tactical information that helps you hone your discernment, take your personal power back, and become who you were always meant to be. If you have any questions you want answered on the show, head over to the Stand Store link in my bio or in the show notes. Have you ever been ghosted or rejected and suddenly you're left staring at your phone, stomach sinking, questioning your worth? You replay every conversation, every text, trying to figure out what you did wrong. Here's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. And that sting you're feeling, it's not a signal that you're unworthy. It's an invitation to reclaim your power, to rewrite your story, and to build a version of yourself that's stronger than the one who walked into that relationship. I want you to forget about all the shallow advice about just getting over it. This video isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about using that hurt. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to transform the pain of ghosting and rejection into clarity, resilience, and confidence. And I promise, if you stick with me, by the end of the video, rejection will no longer feel like the end of your story. Instead, it'll feel like a turning point. So let's be real. Rejection, it cuts deep. Ghosting especially hits harder because it's ambiguous. No explanation, no closure, just silence. That silence becomes a mirror, and in the wrong mindset, you'll start filling it with lies about yourself. I'm not enough. I must have said something stupid. I'll never be chosen. Does any of that sound familiar? And here's the thing. Rejection feels personal, but it's rarely about you. It's often about where the other person is emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. But because we crave certainty, we personalize it. A client of mine went out on what she thought was the best date she'd been on in years. They laughed, they connected, and she left thinking, finally, somebody who gets it. 2 days later, no text, no call. Weeks went by, and she tortured herself with questions like, did I talk too much? Was I not attractive enough? Turns out, the guy had gone back to his ex. It had nothing to do with her, but because she didn't control the narrative, she wasted weeks beating herself up and blaming herself. That's how dangerous silence can be if we let it rewrite our worth. So how do you handle that raw sting? First, stop fighting the hurt. It's normal to feel it. Give yourself permission, but don't get stuck there. Some tactical tools you can use are breath work. 2 minutes of controlled breathing can shift your nervous system out of panic mode. Journaling. Write down what you're feeling, but more importantly, write down what you know is true. Next is movement. Don't underestimate how a workout, a run, or even a long walk can reset your mind. Next is self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a close friend. Would you tell your best friend she's worthless because someone ghosted her? No. So stop saying it to yourself. And here's the trap. The what-if game. What if I had texted back differently? What if I didn't overshare? What if I was more attractive? That game that you're playing with yourself is unwinnable. Every time you play it, you bleed energy. Instead, shift your focus. Ask yourself, what if this is exactly what needed to happen to redirect me to something better? And that's the game you can win, because rejection is just a redirection. Here's another myth, that you need closure. You don't. Closure is not something another person can give you. Closure is the fact that the relationship ended. When one person decides they no longer want to be in it, that's the closure. Period. End of story. Just know that if you've shown up with integrity, if you know who you are and what brought you to the table to begin with, then you also know the breakup has more to do with them than with you. They don't need to fill out your end of relationship survey. You don't need their answers to validate your own worth. And sure, sometimes a reason is helpful, but let's be honest, most people don't have the capacity to tell you the full truth. They'll usually give you whatever sounds easiest so they can exit with minimal interaction and accountability or responsibility, depending on their emotional maturity. And that's not real closure. That's just damage control. The most grown-up thing you can do is self-evaluation. Ask yourself, was I in integrity with my goals, values, and standards for a relationship with me? If the answer is yes, carry on. If not, then it's up to you to determine what you'll do differently next time. That's real closure. That's growth. And that all happens inside of you. And it's your way of taking your personal power back from all the things that are outside of you. Here's where we pivot. Your worth is not a negotiation. It's not something someone else hands you like a report card. The mistake people make is attaching self-worth to external validation. Who texts them back? Who chooses them? Who stays? The moment you do that, you hand your power over. Reclaiming your narrative means saying, my worth doesn't rise or fall based on who shows up. It's anchored in who I'm becoming. One man I coached admitted that after every rejection, he immediately jumped back into dating apps, chasing the next match just to prove he was still desirable. But the cycle left him emptier every time. His breakthrough came when he stopped outsourcing his worth. He doubled down on his fitness, poured energy into his career, and started spending more time with friends who challenged him to grow. The shift, he no longer needed to be chosen. He was already choosing himself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's when his confidence finally stuck. You have to know thyself. The ancients knew this, and it's about time that you remember it too. So what are some steps to reclamation? Step 1 is boundaries. Stop entertaining half efforts. Don't keep doors cracked open for people who clearly don't respect your time and energy. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. They're meant to keep people in your life, but they also keep out what drains you so that you can invest in what grows you. Step 2, invest in yourself. Rediscover the things that make you come alive. Music, fitness, travel, building something. When your life is full of passion, rejection doesn't shrink you. It just becomes background noise. It's part of doing business. Step 3 is to build your crew. Isolation amplifies rejection. Community neutralizes it. Surround yourself with people who affirm your growth, not just your comfort. The right friends, mentors, or community can be the reminder that you're not alone and your value is not up for debate. Now let's zoom out for a second. Rejection isn't a roadblock. It's a redirection. Every time someone walks away, life's creating space for the right connections, right opportunities, and the right growth at the right moment. That doesn't mean it's fun, but it does mean that it's fertile ground for cultivating resilience. And that resilience is forged in the moments you don't get what you wanted. Every setback carries a lesson. Ask yourself, what did this teach me about myself? What did I learn about what I need, what I value, or what I no longer tolerate? And here's the kicker. You can also redefine success for yourself. Success isn't about getting everyone to like you. It's about living so true to yourself that rejection no longer destabilizes you. You walk forward with confidence because I'd rather be rejected for being authentic than accepted for being fake. So next time you get ghosted or rejected, remember, it's not proof that you're unworthy. It's proof that you're alive, you're in the arena, you're taking chances, and building a life that doesn't crumble when someone exits it. And every time you rise after rejection, you become harder to knock down. That's real strength. And if you're ready to do more than just hear these words, if you want guidance on how to rebuild stronger, faster, and with clarity, I can help. Book a one-on-one coaching call with me, or join my private group, the Take a Walk With Me community. You can find all the links in the show notes or in the link in my bio, because you don't need closure from them. You need commitment from you. Hey, Blueprint listeners, if today's conversation resonated with you and you're ready to truly unlock your own personal transformation, I invite you to explore the Self-Discovery Blueprint. This is where we dive deep into the strategies and insights you need to understand who you are, clarify your purpose, and build the life you're truly meant for. It's the comprehensive guide to your next level growth. You can find out more by visiting my Stand store, link in bio, or in the show notes.